strategizing. Let's go over this presidential acts, strategizing, and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. Oh, that sounds so beautiful. Doesn't it? That is pure genius right there. Let's say it again. Strategizing and unleashing the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Strategizing and unleashing the American law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent civilians. Citizens. I apologize. So let's go over this briefly. It says Section 1, Purpose and Policy. Safe community, rely on the backbone of heroism of the thoughts and will equipped police force. My administration is steadfastly committed to empower states and local law enforcement to formally police dangerous criminal behavior and protect innocent citizens. When local leaders demonize law enforcement and impose legal and political handcuffs that make aggressively enforcing law, impose criminal thieves and innocent citizens and small business owners suffer. My administration will, therefore, establish best practice at the state and local level for citizens to unleash high-impact local police forces, protected and defined law enforcement officers rightly accused and abused by state or local officers, and surge resource of officers in need. Administration will work to establish the law enforce officers across America focus on ending crimes, not pursuing harmless, illegal race and sex-based equipped polices. I think that might be a miswrite. Let's read it again. My administration will work on establishing that law enforcement officers across America focus on ending crime, not pursuing harmful, illegal race and sex-based quantity equality police. That don't even sound right, do it, y'all? Okay. The resort will be a law, a binding society in which 10 acts, something, I don't know that word, tenacity laws, enforcement officers protect the innocent. Violations of laws are not tolerated, and American communities are safely enjoyed by all their citizens again. Section 2. Legal defense of law enforcement officers. The attorney shall take all improper appropriate actions to create a mechanism to prevent legal resource and provide legal resources and indemnifications to law enforcement officers who unjustly uncured expands and liberties for active actions taken during the performance of their officer duties to enforce the law. The mechanism shall include the use of private sector pro bono associations for such laws, force enforcement officers. Section 3. Empowering state and local law enforcement. The Attorney General and other apparatus heads of appropriate heads of executive departments and agencies shall take all appropriation actions to minimize the use of federal resources to prevent new best practice to state and local law enforcement to aggressively police communities against all crimes, expand actions and improve the qualities of training available to the state and local law enforcement. Increase pay and benefits for law enforcement officers. Strategies and strengthen and expand legal protection for law enforcement officers. Seek enhance sentencing for crimes against law enforcement officers. Promote investments in the security and capital of prisons and increase the investment and increase the investment. Increase the investment in an collection, distributed and uniformed of crime data. Of uniformity. Okay, I'm sorry. Uniformities of crime data. I'm not gonna give my opinions. I'm just simply gonna read. So I'm not giving none of my opinions. This is where you can find it here. Trump signs EO to protect cops who kill Americans. That's what this Roland S. Martin 2 weeks ago. So that's just some of it. We're not done. He talking right now. So as soon as he gets through talking, and then scroll to the next, I'm gonna fast. There we go. I'm just gonna do that. Hold on. I'm just gonna go back up, fast forward a little bit here. Where we at? 3. Section 3, empower. Is that where we at? I believe so. Empower. Yes, empower. Section 3, empower state and local law enforcement, the Attorney General, and other appropriate heads of the executive department. Executive department. Where am I at? Executive department and agencies shall take all appropriate actions to maximize the use of federal resources to provide new best practice of the state and local enforcement to aggressively police communities against all crimes. I read that one, right? Explain access, approves, and qualities of training available to state and local enforcement include pay. I read this. Okay, I read through Section 3. Pay and benefits of law enforcement officers. Strengthen and explain legal protection for law enforcement officers. Seek enhanced sentencing for criminals against laws enforcement officers. Promote investments in the security and capital of prisons, and increase the investment and collection, distributions, and uniformities of criminals data action across jurisdictions within 60 days of the date of this order. The Attorney General shall review all ongoing federal consent decrees, out of court agreements, and post-judgment orders to which a state or local law enforcement agency is a party, and modified, rescind, or move to conclude such measures that indulge in impeded the performance of law enforcement functions. Get it? Got it? Good. If you don't know what the words some of mean. You just go to Google and push the word and put dictionary behind it, and it'll tell you what those words mean. Okay, Section 4, using national security assets for law and order. Within 90 days of the date of this order, the Attorney General and Secretary of Defense is consultations with the Secretary of Homeland Security and the head of the agencies as appropriate shall increase the preventions of excess military and national security assets in local jurisdiction to assess state and local enforcements. B. Within 90 days of the date of the order, the Secretary of Defense in coordinations with the Attorney General shall determine how military and national security assess, train, and non-lethal capability and personnels must effectively be utilized to prevent crime. That sounds safe. Section 5, holding state and local official accountable. The Attorney General shall pursue all necessary legal remedies and enforcement measures to enforce the rights of the American impacted by crime and shall prioritize prosecutions of all applicable in violations of federal criminal laws with respect to the state and local jurisdiction whom officials willful and unwillful direct the obstruction of crime laws increased by directly and unlawful prohibited law enforcement officers from carrying out duties necessary for public safety and law enforcement of unlawful engaged in discrimination or civil rights violations under the guise of diversity. This is going to be so interesting in courts. So, Section 3, using the Homeland Security Task Force, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall utilize the Homeland Security Task Force HSTFS formed in accordance with the Executive Order 14159 of January the 20th, 2025, protecting the American people against invasions, to coordinate and advance the objective of this order. Section 7, general provisions. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect. I know I shouldn't say nothing because it's going to be so interesting in the course, but some of the people that wrote this really, because you could tell it's like a couple people put their own whatever they wanted to put on there. So, the authority gained by law and to an executive department of agencies of the head thereof, or, okay, the function of the director of the Office of Management and Budget related to budgetary, administrative, or legislative proposals. B. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriation. You're just making up words, huh? This order is not intended to and does not create any right or benefit substantive of procedure enforceable at the law or in equal equality by any party against the United States. It's department, agency, or entitles its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. Damn it. I'm sorry, this is what it says. The Department of Justice shall prevent funding for the order published in the Federal Register. I just hate to tell y'all this, but somebody don't know what the fuck they talking about. That's just it. They don't know what they talking about. They sound like a criminal trying to write a letter into a law that's going to infringe the Constitution just because they breaking the law. And I'm telling y'all, that's exactly what some of this is. But it's funny because that's not all Donald Trump. That's a bunch of people opinion. That's a lot of people opinions. That's a boardroom. That's a boardroom of everybody that has some suggestions, and they just put it on the table, and they just found a way to put it into this executive order and just gonna deliver it like it's gonna work. First of all, I'm just gonna say this: right is gonna protect right, and wrong is gonna lose to right, which means that anything that infringes the Constitution ain't gonna work. Talk to you motherfuckers later.